There may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everybody have their fingers crossed that the audio is not garbage. And everybody that knows that inside joke, the last time we had a head football coach on, the audio was bad. We could not post the show. But everything's good. Everything's trust me. I triple checked. I triple checked. But yes. So this week, coaching spotlight on episode 94. Yeah, 94 of Tailgate Talks. We have on the new head coach of the Edinboro football team. You go by Matthew, Matt, Scott?
Either or, it's whatever.
Coach Scott.
Yeah, Coach Scott.
On the show. There we go. But yeah, so obviously just came here. So I guess, right away, I guess ask, what do you think about Edinboro so far?
You know what? I've really enjoyed it. Probably the highlight of Edinboro, other than the school and the kids and the players, has been Flips Cafe. I've been there a couple times, and the flips, I don't know what they are. Are they a biscuit? Are they a donut? Are they a croissant? It's deliciousness. And my new staff that has been in is a big Flips fan as well. So if they want to, put me on a commercial or something like that, let me test out their new flips, I'll definitely sign up for that. So.
Yeah, we can get something.
Yeah, we can get that working.
We can get something done. And even if for a commercial, there's great equipment right here I'm looking at right now.
That's right.
But yes, so like what we like to do to start off any interview, I like to read if there is a bio, and you did send me a bio. So under his tutelage, because before here you were at New Haven?
University of New Haven, yes.
Yep. 30 Chargers have been named the NE10 All-Conference teams defensively, including 15 players earning All-Conference First Team distinction. Also among the individuals' defensive honors for the Chargers under Scott is David Omen.
Ottoman. Yep. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Who earned Division II Conference Commissioners Association All-East Region Second Team honors following the 2022 season. Guy Jenkins?
Jai
Yep. Jenkins. And then Jack Quander.
Yep.
Oh, I got one. There you go.
There you
I got one. I got one. Who earned major NE10 awards following the 2023 campaign, while Jenkins was also named a Associated Press Second Team All-American. All right, got through all the names that I could not pronounce. All right, so we're going to start off by a question about New Haven. With you read 30 defensive players earning NE10 All-Conference honors under your leadership, including 15 on the first team. What do you believe was the key to developing such a consistent, strong defensive unit, and then talk about overall your time at New Haven?
Sure. Obviously, it starts with recruiting really good players. We had a great head coach and Coach Pinson's that did a great job of just creating a vision and creating a culture of success. I think one of the best things that you can do as an assistant coach is really be a great bridge to that and to protect the blind spots and to help in certain situations. Maybe there's areas that he struggles in that I can do a better job in. And so for me, I thought it was always to create a great relationships with our players and camaraderie. And credit to him is all I really had to do was focus on the defense. He let me, recruit the defensive guys I wanted to recruit, run the defense the way I wanted to run it. And so when you have that autonomy to do those types of things, obviously you have that ownership. You really want to work really hard for that person. And so it made it a great experience for me. And I think the kids really believed in what we were doing. They knew that there was an expectation and a standard to how we wanted to play and how we wanted to execute on Saturdays. They knew that they were going to be held to that standard, and if they couldn't meet that standard, then the next guy was going to get an opportunity to play that. And so because of the constant competition, because of the players that we recruited, because of the belief, which I think is the most important thing, that they believed in what we were doing, what I was asking them to do it, how I was asking them to do it, that led to a lot of success. on the field. So I think obviously you got to have a combination of great players, but they got to believe in, they got to have buy-in to what you're doing. And I think because of defensively, we're multiple. We're going to do a little things that are a little bit different. We're going to let our players play and that type of stuff. I think it always leads to guys, really enjoying and being a part of our defense.
I mean, that kind of leads into the second question a little bit too, because obviously you've come in so far, and I've just talking with the guys, like I've seen what you guys are doing with the group stuff, with the team stuff, I see the pictures at the basketball games. I joked with Coach Scott before. I said going to the basketball games and then just being the only guy that's sitting with him that is not on the football team. But it just sounds, from what everybody's telling me, it just sounds like so far already, it seems like with this you've brought the team together so far, and you need that. Sure. You need to everybody needs to be on the same page. And it's good to get that early, and we're in March, and the fact you already have that down is pretty awesome. But the question that I was going to ask is, and you kind of hinted at it a little bit, but how important is it to establish that strong bond quick, like you have already? And then, what has surprised you the most out of all the guys you've seen on the team so far?
Yeah, I mean, everyone, obviously the buzzword is culture, right? And everyone uses it and throws it out there, but it's really important to build that culture of camaraderie. Like we talk about, togetherness is one of our big pillars of our program. We want to be talent, we want to be toughness, and we want togetherness. And so the talent obviously is going to be that part of us recruiting you, us developing you, us retaining you, and creating great experiences to you with that talent that you have. And then obviously the toughness, the standards that we're going to have, the expectations that we're going to have for you to do the things the right way when they're not always easy to do, and then doing it together. And for me, the guys have done a tremendous job of buying into what I'm asking them to do. They want to be coached. They want to have success. They know it's not going to be easy. They know there's going to be challenges and bumps in the road. The new coaches that I brought in, the first morning run workout that they go to, they can't believe, how hard the kids are working. They can't believe when, hey, go back, you didn't touch the line, or your team lost, or whatever it is, and the guys are just like, all right, we'll get it back next time, or yeah, I got to go do that, instead of the side eye, or I'm not doing that, or like that's. So when you talk about things that have surprised you, and again at a place where they haven't had sustained success in a while, those are things that tend to go rampant in a program. Guys don't care what the head coach thinks of them. Guys don't care about the standard that you're trying to push them to, and that's not been the case here. Our guys have worked tremendously hard. They're drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. And so as the staff that I brought in, as I told them, is we need to do a great job of treating them right, understanding that they're trying to do everything that we're asking to do to the best of their ability. Keep that standard going. Don't ever let them slack or let them feel like we're patting them on the back and things are going the way. Just keep working, keep grinding every day, keep showing up every day. And so that's been a lot of fun. They've worked tremendously hard, and they're bought into what we're doing.
Yeah, I think another factor, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I think another factor of that is that, at least in my opinion, I feel like our team was a lot better than what the record showed last year. And in a lot of cases, when that happens with the team, you get pissed off.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of the guys are just pissed off, and they're just like, no, we're better than this. We can do better than we did last year, and we're going to prove it. And so far, they're, like you said, working hard, and it seems like everything's been just tremendous so far. But next question, and I am going to read this off my phone because it's an important question, and I do want to make sure I get the question correctly. So I'm going to read it off my phone real quick. I take it you obviously have met Gary Kay and Coach Jennings.
Yes.
Yep. So we actually asked them this question too, and I feel like it's a very important dynamic and a thing for any sports team. And that is, how have you seen the role of mental health impact player performance and team dynamics?
Sure. I mean, it's obviously it's something that, when I played, nobody talked about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And obviously there was always a pressure to perform, or you felt a certain way, like, man, like I'm playing football right now, but like I'm just not enjoying it, or like, or I just don't feel like as excited about it as I needed to be or as I wanted to be. And so I think you always look back on things of how you did it before and how you do it now. And some people always talk about the glory days or this and back in the day we'd have done it this way. Yeah. But this is one of the things that I think has been great to, unfortunately, had a lot of errors in our ways leading up to this to finally get to this point where we know that it's something that needs to be addressed and talked about. And obviously with football players, it's something where, not a lot of guys feel comfortable. Hey, coach, I am feeling some type of way. I don't feel as comfortable or as good about, my performance, or this something off the field is impacting the way, the way I'm showing up to practice or whatever. And the biggest thing I always tell our guys is, listen, man, like I might not have all the answers, but I know that there's people and there's resources on campus to be able to speak to you and talk to you about it. And so all I want you guys to know is, like, come in and let's talk about it before it gets to a point where it's either impacting your class and your ability to go to school and continue to get education. It's impacting what you love to do on a Saturday, and it's impacting your quality of life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I think having those conversations with them early and understanding that I got your back, but let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And let's have those conversations. Let's not wait until the point where we're at the point of no return. I failed all my classes because I wasn't in the right headspace. Right. So that's always the biggest thing for me, is really making sure our guys feel comfortable in talking about it with me, with another coach. And if it's a point that we need to get intervention, then we know where the resources are at on campus to make sure that our guys are able to handle that. Because it's as important as training in the weight room. Yeah. It's as important because I've been in those moments where there's been a time where I've overthought a play and I didn't make the play because my head wasn't focused in the right spot. You know what I mean?
I was a baseball player, and there's plenty of times where if I strike out, that's the end of the world.
Yep.
Yep. But no, two things with that. One, we have incredible resources on campus. Great. Not just like academic-wise, media-wise, but like mental health-wise. The Gehring Center on campus, that's by, it's more so by the library, right, Aaron? You could say. He's locked in. Good.
Yeah, focused.
Good. He's focused. Good.
Yeah.
I'd rather you be focused. No, I was saying the Gehring Center is kind of like by the library is the best way to describe it. Closer to Van. Yeah, closer to Van Halen. But still though. Yeah, the Gehring Center is incredible. And then two, I feel like nowadays, like, it's mental health wise, it's starting to. We're in an age now where now it's acceptable to, like, you got to talk it out. And I mean, crap, if you got to cry about it, cry about it. Yeah. Let it out if you have to. Yeah. But yeah, so, all right, next question. And then if we have time, possibly one more before rapid fire. But obviously coaching's tough. It can be tough. It's in any sport. But coaching in college, however, you got recruiting, you got obviously deal with the players you have now, and just a lot on your plate. So what advice would you give to kids that are looking to coach in, not even just football, but in just any sport in general?
Yeah, I mean, if you're the biggest thing in coaching is making sure that you're getting into it for the right reasons. Obviously now because of, salaries getting publicized and stuff, you see the Nick Saban make $7 million a year, and you're like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? That'd be great to get paid that type of money to do that. But nobody wants to talk about what they did to get them to that point. Yeah. When I was a GA getting into coaching, I didn't have any debt. I was a scholarship player and I didn't have any debt. I put myself in debt to be a GA. Like, I took out a loan so I could put food on the table so I had something to eat. You know what I mean? People always said I was a defensive lineman in college. I was 280 pounds. How did you lose all that weight? I became a GA and I was eating once a day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's a really important part of it, and having a great support that's going to help you through those financial struggles for sure. Mm-hmm. But be willing to work for free or to little to nothing, and create value in your work. Mm-hmm. And be willing to be a person that's there all the time. When you create value in your work, when you create you do so many things well, they're not going to know how to do it without you. That's how you climb the ladder. Be a sponge, always learning, no ego involved with your learning, and then relationships. Like, be willing to go up, like you're at the pit camp, and be willing to go up to Coach Narduzzi and just say, hey, Coach, I'm such and such, and I'm trying to get into coaching, and any advice for me? And it could just be that.
Yeah.
And maybe he sees you work the camp 2 or 3 different times, and each time you introduce yourself to him, because you're going to have to introduce yourself to him again. Don't walk up to that guy and think he's going to know who you are.
Yeah.
And you introduce yourself again, and you just create those relationships. And hey, he's like, hey, we got a quality control job. Why don't you come out here and check this out? And so that's really the biggest thing, is make sure you get in the right reasons. Be ready to be broke for a while. Grind, work at it. Be a sponge and create value in your work. And if you do those things, it's gonna be rewarding, and you'll probably see your career progress in the direction that you want to.
Yeah, and Coach Narduzzi would tell you how it is. I'm a pick guy.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
But yeah. So all right. So looking at the time, actually, real quick, I got time for this. So obviously expectations. Obviously, I already said it. The record not the way a lot of the guys on the team that are still here wanted it to go last year. Obviously, of course, I'm sure some of the guys have talked about it with us beating Robert Morris last year. I'm sure you heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the big win against IUP. But of course, obviously, the expectation is PSAC championship. But for you specifically, what are your expectations for this team for the 2025 season?
Yeah, our number one goal is going to be to protect the Plaid and win at home. Okay,
absolutely.
So the thing that we were able to do at New Haven is we won a lot of home games. I might have lost 3 games at home in the 7 years I was the defensive coordinator there. And so when you do that, right, that's a lot of homecomings, family weekends, senior days, where you've got a lot of alums coming back to your campus and having great experiences. And so now you're creating value, you're creating enjoyment. People want to be a part of that winning culture just by winning your home games.
Yeah.
And doing that. So for me, that's going to be our number one goal: protect the Plaid, win at home. And again, the expectations for me are I want to go out and win every game. Like we don't go into this thing saying let's hope that we win 3. Let's hope that we want to go into it with every game with the game plan that we have in place, with the players that we have in place, putting them in the best position so we can win every football game. And we need to manage our expectations. We can't get too high and we can't get too low. We might start off the year knocking off 2 of the playoff teams in the East there, in East Stroudsburg and Kutztown. And we better come back to work the next day with the same mindset of what we need to do to get ourselves ready to beat Bloomsburg. And we might go out there and we get our butts kicked in the first game of the year. And we better not go, here we go again. We better hit the reset button, go back to work, same expectations, same things we need to do. Maybe we got to tweak this, but we're back ready to work. We're all in on what we need to do. And so that's very important. And we had times like that in New Haven, where we're on a 6-game winning streak, 7-game winning streak, and here comes some team that has no business beats us because we're not focused on the process. What you need to do day to day to get yourself to Saturday so that you can play your best game. And so that's going to be very important for us, is managing those expectations, the highs and the lows throughout a 11-game season.
Yeah, then I will say the number one saying from last season was protect the Plaid. So I bet a lot of the guys listening to this are gonna just be ready to run through a wall after hearing protect the Plaid. But yeah. So all right, rapid fire. Once again, we don't blindside coaches. We're just not gonna do it.
Man, you can't tell them that you helped me out. They got to know I can think on my feet. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you want me to ask you a question.
No, you can listen. I don't mind a couple softballs, but so.
I mean, it's up to you. But now we can't. All right. So, favorite sport to watch other than football?
College baseball.
College baseball, yeah, Alex. Baseball, you hear that?
College baseball, though.
Yeah, college baseball.
The exit velocity on the aluminum bats and everyone throwing 105 miles an hour. That's what we like to see.
Yeah. Favorite sport to play other than football?
Basketball.
Okay. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke. Diet Coke all day.
Oh, yeah. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Okay.
Which I'm going to miss because New Haven pizza was the best in the country.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Boom! In a radio meeting, there was this big argument. Everybody was just ganging up on me saying pineapple belongs on pizza. And I'm like, get out of here.
I mean, now listen, I've heard some people say it's good, but no.
There we go. LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
Yeah.
Listen, LeBron's greatness is his longevity and his ability to play met all the expectations exceeded. But Jordan in the crunch time, come on now.
Yeah, come on. And we won't talk about what's going on with Stephen A. because it's irrelevant. But anyway, favorite TV show of all time.
I had a couple ready for you, but let's go. I'm going to go with The Wire.
The Wire. Joe, The Wire. All right, favorite movie of all time.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Okay. Favorite song of all time.
Return of the Mac. Mark Morrison.
Okay. Favorite head coach of all time.
Nick Saban.
All right. Favorite football player of all time.
Jerome Bettis.
All right. Favorite non-football thing about Edinboro so far. Is it Flip?
Yeah, probably flips. It's probably flips. Yeah, flips. Got to go flips.
Funniest guy you have met so far that is a player on the team.
It's between Nick Rossi and JT.
JT. Actually, I'll have to show it to you after that. There was a video I made on France, and a lot of the guys thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. If you ran the 40 right now, what would your time be?
5 flat.
All right, last one. Advice for kids to keep their cool when a ref gives out a bad call.
Oh, man. I think obviously the biggest thing is just realizing the grace and the grace and the toughness it is to officiate, and what we would do if the officials weren't there, you know.
And also, it's your job too to do that if there's needs to be argued.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if our kids have to keep their composure, they should never ever talk to the officials. I'm the only guy that gets to talk to the officials. Mm-hmm. So on game day.
But all right, blindside. No, I'm kidding. But no, the actual last question we like to ask it all the time. It's actually usually the question to like calm things down after.
I didn't get too crazy here, so but yeah.
But it's 3 things you are grateful for in your life.
Man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Jesus Christ and what He did for me on the cross. I'm grateful for my family that love me unconditionally, and my wife that decides to be a coach's wife, and the craziness that goes with that, and my kids for their understanding when dad's not always around to play and hang out and do the things that we like to do as a family. And then lastly, I'm grateful for this opportunity. You know, not everybody gets to be a head football coach. There's only maybe 300 or so in all of college football. And, you know, to be a part of it and to have this opportunity and the leadership giving me this shot, we're going to work really hard, and we're going to try to do it the right way, and hopefully we see a lot of success on Saturday, and a lot of student athletes that were in my program that feel like they've become better men and better husbands and better fathers because of the experience they had within our football program.
We're going to protect the plaid.
Protect the plaid. Let's go. Go Burrow.
Go Burrow. But, Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep. This was episode 90. Yeah, I looked at the board. It's 94 of Tailgate Talks. So
it's a good number. That's actually that was my college number. So good.
Oh,
number. There we go.
What a coincidence. His college number was 94. So actually, what we like to do when I'm the only one here, so we actually do a paper toss. We just throw it at the camera, but I'm not allowed to do it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna crumble this up, and I'm gonna give it to you, and then what you want to do is throw it at that camera.
All right. Got it.
So there we go.
Man, I hope I can get there.
Oh, there we go. That's good. That's pretty solid. That's pretty
Lefty.
There we go.